Professor Mohammed Amin Lamptey and Kasan. Prof, being a senior general, and your Sembi at the Bama Square near Ghana for Junjun home, being GB for more home, and a Biaka Ghana for dear. Then so, my main for opportunity, you Nami Musao, Asempa come you be, FA national team sim.
Okay, Prof.
Okay,
am I ready?
All right. It is near Busia say a call up into our national teams, you know. Is it a privilege or a right? As a player, because I'm doing well, I'm playing well, I'm doing this, I'm doing it. I see a frame, and I said, yeah, just an anabi, and or minor, edition players anymore. Is it a right or a privilege?
Lawyer, it depends on where you are coming from. There are individuals that would claim say is their right. Some will also claim that is their privilege. Lawyer, you are a legal brain, mainly a legal brain. So when you are looking at issues, you'll be very, very critical in your analysis. It is not a normal thing that will be here. When you critically analyze, you manage the situation. When you manage the situation, the end result is what? Resolution. That is the achievement. It could become, say, modern. Ghana, you are a very good footballer. But it depends on the technical team. What is their measure? What is their criteria in determining who should play for the Black Stars? It depends on the positions. It depends on the game plan. It depends on the historical and precedent of the national team. So, a fair PJ. PJ is good when it comes to midfield play. He's more or less like an offensive midfielder. We already have a defensive midfielder. And combining PJ and Pakon Ebefe Yanko. Let me give you an example. Some years gone by, a lot of my younger journalists in this country might not know. You could have a national team, if you are saying a Yebo worker qualify. All the defensive setup, they are all coming from Asante Kotoko. And then you go to the attacking machinery. All of them are coming from Accra as a folk. Then you have just one midfielder coming from Sekendi Azakis, another one coming from 11 Wise. And this is the Black Stars. Nobody raises an eyebrow because these players, lawyer, they are tried and tested. They have already displayed their qualities and skills. So you can't raise any eyebrow. But in this situation where we have a system now, you cannot really read in between the line the kind of criteria that we are using and the players that come. You don't know the kind of criteria that we have in trying to assess them, in trying to scrutinize them, and then we don't have a criteria that we are looking for to have a standing team. Based on the standing team, what kind of striker are we looking for? Midfielders are we looking for? Defensive setup that we are looking for? Look at the Accra as a full goalkeeper. Asari, who has been considered now, and you heard from the coach saying that is number one. For me, I think that the coach was so quick to have said that is the number one. You don't need to say this. You don't need to say this. As a technical director or as the head of the team, you need to manage your communication. Lawyer, in communication, it has gone beyond written, oral, and non-written or non-verbal. We have body language communication. Even when you applaud somebody, you are saying that the person has done well. You don't know what will happen. So what about you say is number one, and psychologically, mentally, it gets into the guy's mind. In our next game, he goes to lose the game maybe by 3 goals to nil or 4 goals to nil, even though he had already had a clean sheet. What will you tell Ghanaians? So there are certain things that you don't bring them out in the public domain because a day will come. You have to justify it. And for me, PJ, it could be a right, it could be a privilege, but I think that the privileged one dominates the right one. Well, for example, Bede Ayew, we all know what this young man has done for Ghana. A psychologist will tell you that you need to consider certain things because of what he has done for this nation. He's a skipper. All of us can see what he's doing with his club in France. So there is an element of justification based on what he has done in the past, his leadership quality, his ability to score, his ability to give decent passes, his ability to convert half chance into full chance. Let's give him a call. Regardless of what happened, you just give him a call. Let's give him a try. PJ, look at the performance of his younger brother, Jordan Ayew. Have you ever seen Jordan playing for Ghana with this kind of contribution, with this kind of quality of leadership in the Black Stars? That tells you that some people, when you give them the privilege, you're giving them the platform for them to display and exhibit their prowess and skills. And it could depend on the situation, that it could be right. There are some people that know it could be a privilege. Finally, Senna Mekano, who shared some time ago, an ordinary Accra as a folk boxing fan, an Kotoko boxing, Kotoko football fan, could give you the list of Black Star players even before the call-up. PJ, those days, Abubakar Damba, Mohamed Udum, Salifou Ansah, mention all other goalkeepers. You know, when these three goalkeepers are invited to the Black Stars, you yourself, you know the number one. And the coach will be right. The defensive setup will know. Amankwame Oku will come. This person will come. Joe Odio will come. The Shamokwes are there. So you yourself, you can make the list before they even get there. PJ, what about today? So the Nemana Sisan, it is just up to the leadership to understand that they are dealing with the public. And that is why public speaking is very significant. That is why sometimes you have to educate the public for them to understand the criteria, so that when you are doing something, even whatever that they will say on the program could help you. Please take it or leave it. This program that you are running, you are one of the most finest journalists in this country. Okay, now you are a legal brain. It means that your concept of analyzing issue is different. Yourself and your panel, or probably one of your callers, could call and give a very productive input for the Black Stars. It depends on the GFA, technical team, and even the players to listen and see whether they can pick something from the program. It is not everything that people will say that could be correct. That is why we have criticism. Criticism could come constructively, some could come destructively. But it depends on you, the listener, or the viewer, to take a decision and make sure the right things are done. Lawyer.